Hello, everybody, and welcome to NASCAR.com XFINITY Series GarageCam live on NASCAR.com. And check out the hashtag GarageCam on Twitter. And, oh, baby, we're talking about the youth movement in the XFINITY Series. This series is such a great series in NASCAR youth movement all together. And I'm joined by my buddy right here, Andrew, with Acceleration Nation. And speaking of youth movement, man, you're doing on-air stuff with Acceleration Nation. How old are you?
I am 15 years old, and I will say I am a big fan of GarageCam. 5 to 10 years ago, I was watching every single GarageCam every weekend.
Making me feel old.
it's a big deal that I'm on this show, so I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, we got our first driver over here. Check it out. It's William Byron. How about you throw yourself in there, man? Ask him a question.
All right. How you doing? William, so we're here with GarageCam, and, you know, a lot of youth in the XFINITY Series. You know, how does that motivate you to work even harder now?
It's just good to have other rookies that are competitive and good cars, and just makes the series better. So it's good to run with them and also the Cup guys and try and mix it up a little bit. So it's just a lot of competition out here, so it's been fun so far.
And you got Max Pappas over here, kind of like a driver coach. I don't know what the technical term is you were trying to tell me before, but you know, how is it for you, a veteran of IndyCar ranks and sports cars and NASCAR, to coach a young man like this? And what type of stuff are you coaching a young driver with?
Actually, you know, I call myself performance advisor.
There you
know,
go.
like, you know, it's there is a lot more than coaching. You know, I always said, you know, it's a pleasure to work with William. You know, we have a program, you know, that we've been going on for a couple of years, and you definitely cannot teach speed. You know, the young guys, you know, that they're listening, you know, speed, or you have it or you don't. You know, but you can teach attitude, you can teach leadership, and you can work on all those small details that once you reach a certain level is going to be what makes the difference. You know, because obviously, you know, you gotta have a God gift. You know, that comes by itself, you know, and the rest, it's all about tuning yourself and preparing yourself for the best. And, you know, it's awesome to see, you know, a young guy like William that has, it's very much like a sponge. You know, he's a kid that is willing to put the extra effort in it. And when you do that, good things usually happen.
All right, Max, and I'm kind of an old reporter here, an old guy here. I've covered the sport for years, but Andrew over here is a new guy as far as reporter. What advice, you know, what would you give him to motivate him as a young reporter?
I always say, you know, the motivation should be do the best you can and trust your instinct. If you're here, there is a reason why they choose you. They choose you because you must be doing something good. The important thing is understanding your limitation, being aware of it, and work on them. And not being afraid to ask advice to people that know more. Because usually, you know, when you can ask advice and you can do things, you know, older people might maybe not have the spark or whatever like you have, you know, but there is a lot of mistakes they've done, and if they're willing to share them with you, maybe you're gonna do less of them.
Words of wisdom right there.
Andrew gets some life advice from Max Pappas, the great Max Pappas, helping so many drivers in this garage area, and performance advisor. I like that. I like that title. What do you think?
I think it's a good title.
I think you nailed it. All right, man. For you, you know, for being a young man like yourself, what is it like to actually be able to work within a professional sport like this in NASCAR? It's just got to be a thrill when you go back to school.
Man, it's so cool. I have to pinch myself every morning that I wake up knowing that I'm going to the racetrack and talking to drivers. It's a dream come true, and I never expected to be here. So it's awesome.
And right now you see Justin Allgaier talking things over at his teammate's car. And hey, man, I just saw you before GarageCam doing an interview with some young guy named Andrew Kurland. Come on in, buddy. And it was an unusual interview at its best.
It was an unusual interview, but a lot of fun. And I think that's what makes our sport so much fun. And you mentioned it earlier, is the fact that obviously we do a lot of media about racing and what happens on the racetrack, but we also do a lot of stuff that's not about racing, right? Like personal lives. And you know, we do a podcast, Jam Up Front on Dirty My Radio. And it's basically my thoughts post-race or post-weekend, just raw and what's going on in life. And last week we were arguing about not going to In-N-Out. Like, those are the kind of things that make it fun, right? You know, you got to be something different. But
wait, so you didn't go to In-N-Out?
No, and it was really disappointing. So my wife thought we were late for the plane, and we really weren't late for the plane. I know, right? we really weren't late for the plane because we were actually one of the first ones there. So we didn't stop, and we also thought we were going to get in and out on the plane, and they made a last-minute switch, and we got deli sandwiches from Las Vegas to Charlotte.
Oh,
deli
man.
sandwiches.
That's not good.
unfortunate.
Yeah, after a
Fat
full day.
kid here would be very unhappy, you know.
Well, it was probably better for my diet, but not good for my mental health.
All right, so what advice would you have for a young reporter here? I know we've all got to work around Andrew, and there's a big youth movement going on in NASCAR, and in particular in this garage, and heck, with even NASCAR Acceleration.
You know, probably the coolest part is seeing the youth and the technology and the available options, especially to our youth now. I mean, for us in racing, it's iRacing. It's being able to go out and make laps and simulate what you're seeing. For you, it's having guys to look up to and being able to come out here and do it. I mean, heck, when I first met you, you were like this tall.
I was real short.
Yeah, and now you're taller than I am, which is no good. I'll stand on my tippy toes when I
And I'll go like this.
Yeah. The Bob Dylan.
Yes.
But you know, the biggest thing is just stay true to yourself. You know, you've done a great job, and that's the one thing that I love about our youth, especially nowadays. Being able to think outside the box, doing something different, doing something new, and that's what we do in the race car, right? Like we have to adapt, and you know, your generation is gonna see and want things differently than my generation was, and his generation. The biggest thing is just stay true to yourself and be able to think outside the box at all times. Even when corporate America tells you to think inside the box, you have to think outside the box.
I had career day, so all they were telling us is think outside the box.
That's
So
right.
The only thing I want to think inside the box of is In-N-Out.
That's right. Yes. Now I'm ready to go eat some In-N-Out.
well, we wish you luck on your Xfinity Series race and getting that In-N-Out burger.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right. Justin Allgaier, one of the good guys of our garage. And hey, this is NASCAR.com Garage Game. If you're new to this show, this is a different type of show. We're having a little bit of fun doing some little different things because we have Andrew with us. And remember, Beatty, our producer, we got to keep him, like, it's almost like making sure he does his homework because he's got an interview with Clint Boyer coming up. So we got to make sure he makes that interview.
I got about 3 more minutes on this show.
3 more minutes, and then we'll hopefully get him back if Boyer's not long-winded. But hey, tell us about NASCAR Acceleration.
Yeah, so NASCAR Acceleration Nation is a big new youth movement to get kids interested in racing, and their website, they recently revamped the whole thing. They got an app, they got a bunch of fun and games, and it's really about teaching kids the math and science of NASCAR, and it's what's important. You know, it's if you understand, you know, what's going on inside the race car and on the track is what makes it really interesting, and that for me is what got me excited to watch racing in the first place. So to learn more about the math and science about racing, and it's really interesting, and you get to watch some of my videos too. So another good reason to check out the website.
Yeah, and I checked out your video there with NASCAR Goes West. Great job there. But
Thank you.
Make sure you download the app if there's any young kids watching the show or any parents watching the show. I'm a parent. I got a 1.5-year-old, and he can't really navigate the app yet, but he loves the music when you turn the app on, NASCAR Acceleration Nation.
I love the music.
It's kind of kicking. I like it. So the leaf filter gutter protection car, Blake Cook right here, and this Xfinity Series is packed full of so much youth. We were talking about it before the show, Andrew, and who are the guys that really stand out to you here in this NASCAR Xfinity Series?
Oh, of course, you know, William Byron after his incredible run last year in the Truck Series. You got guys like Justin Allgaier, Matt Tifft, even Daniel Suarez, who's now in the Cup Series, but he was in the Xfinity Series last year. And, you know, it's just all these different guys. Ty Dillon, who's no longer in the Xfinity Series, but Ryan Reed, Bubba Wallace. I mean, the list goes on and on. We're in good hands for the future.
Yeah, and Ryan Reed, of course, with that big win at Daytona starting the season, and so many, such a youth movement in here. And actually, there's a lot of veterans that they get to race against, and Morgan Shepherd here is one of them. And Morgan's working on his car right now. And I think Morgan's 50 years in NASCAR fire suit is about one of the coolest things in our garage area. Come on over here real quick, Andrew. And the youngest reporter should interview the most seasoned driver.
Absolutely. There's a big youth movement in NASCAR. You know, how exciting is it watching all these guys come up through the ranks?
Well, we've got some of the greatest race car drivers coming up. These young kids, you know, most of them started racing when they was 4 and 5 years old, go-karts, and the families brought them up to it. And so they're already really educated by the time they get to NASCAR. But all of them are fast. They're hard to beat.
Hard to beat. Absolutely. Thank you, Morgan.
And it's hard to beat a personality like Morgan Shepherd, who, if he makes this race here, he has 50 years in NASCAR. That is a feat. You see those gold wheels right there. 50 years in NASCAR. That's something not to bat an eyelash about. I mean, that's an unbelievable thing. And look at this. Check it out. Andrew, hard-working kid, is off. Let's show him running. This is pretty funny. So Andrew just had to leave us because he has a interview with Clint Boyer. Okay, kids, we all pick on millennials. Let's not pick on that millennial because he's busting his butt to go over there and get his interview with Clint Boyer, and hopefully he'll join us for the end of the show. Otherwise, it turns from the youth movement to
the old person movement.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Harrison Rhodes, one of the young guns of the NASCAR Xfinity Series in the 01. Jeremy Clements, soon to be an old man because he's going to get married. Oh, the number 8 car this week, Matt Mills, late model driver. And here is Matt Mills hanging out at the back of the hauler. We'll roll up here. All right, Mills, what do you think, man? Phoenix, kind of a big debut here for you in this deal. And, we're talking about the youth movement in NASCAR, and youth is being served over here, even on this side.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to come back to a track I have some experience at. And we fought a little bit of tightness in that first practice session, but still overall learning. But I just can't thank BJ McLeod for giving me this opportunity and Thompson Electric coming on board. I'm just excited for the whole weekend, really.
Okay, what do you learn from a guy like Jeff Green? I mean, Jeff Green's over there. He's been a part of this deal here and a champion in the sport. What have you been able to learn from old Buck Central there?
Yeah, he's as soon as I showed up today, he came right up to me and we started going over what to do on the track, lifting points, going through the pits, just everything, a lot of knowledge right there. And then when you get on the racetrack, everything starts coming together and making sense. So very good guy to talk to, whether it works or not. I like his advice. I don't know anything at this point, so he's my right-hand man.
All right, Matt Mills there running that number 8 car this weekend. Great to see him at Phoenix International Raceway. David Starr, veteran from Texas. Another young star in our sport right here, the number 23 of Spencer Gallagher. And David Starr walking by. What's David Starr got? What do you got there?
Man, I got a Dr. Pepper and some potato chips.
Is that how you stay in such stellar shape?
No, definitely not this. But, yeah, I'm just, man, it's a beautiful day here in Phoenix. And our striping technology, Chevrolet, was just okay in practice. I think a lot of people are battling tight. My car is really tight in the center, both ends. And when you throttle up right in the center after it rolls the center and you get back to the gas quick, it's just, I'm tight off the corner exiting. And so Kenny Evans, my crew chief, we made a lot of changes, so I'm excited to see what the second practice brings. And a lot of people are making a lot of changes. So even my teammate, Ray Black Jr., Jason Miller, they changed them. They went drastic. So it's we're all trying to figure out these cars, but it's fun and exciting, and I look forward to the race tomorrow.
All right, David Starr, we talk about balance here with two different sides of the racetrack. Well, they're just trying to find a better handling race car on both ends, and that number 99. Phoenix, Arizona. This kid was a young hot shot one day. Back in the day, J.J. Yaley in the open wheel ranks, a USAC champion, one of the greatest open wheel dirt racers of our time, and now a veteran in the NASCAR ranks in the number 14, welcoming back home. It's always good for him to come back home to Arizona. Young Timmy Hill, Carl Long, Ray Black Jr., Scuba Steve on the side of the car, always enjoying the headphones and the music right before the race. Super Mario Gosselin, young Joey Gase in the Donate Life Arizona car. All right, Gase, what you got? You're always working, man, when we come by you.
Always. We're a small team. We only really have 4 full-time guys, so everyone always has to do everything around here and pitch in.
We're talking about youth movement in this sport, and we had a young reporter joining us, and about work ethic. What type of advice would you give a young person in this sport, no matter what job they are, as far as work ethic?
There's always normally someone working harder than you, so that's the way I always look at it. So if you think you're working too hard, you're probably not, and just never give up.
All right, Joey Gase, the Donate and Life car, the number 52, the Jimmy Means entry. Jordan Anderson rolling by, the number 93, real quick. Ryan Sieg, the number 39. Ross Chastain, the Flex Seal number 4. Oh, man, look at this. This is trouble right here. You got to love the JD Racing hauler here. It's like one of the cooler lounges that we have here. There's like food. They just need a DJ is what I think. Hey, Smithley, why aren't you DJing up there? That's all we need is a DJ. Here, you can hold it.
DJing? I can't. I got nothing. Are you talking about like DJing? Like?
Yeah, I'm talking about DJing. I'm taking the mic back from you. You're not a DJ? You can't wicka?
I listen to music. I don't know about DJing.
I think we need music up in the lounge. Dude, we got like food. We got like bench seats.
What about Harrison? You think Harrison can DJ?
Let's see. All right, Harrison.
We do have Rudy's Barbecue up here.
You got Rudy's Barbecue up in here? I know aren't going after the show.
So we're talking DJing?
Yeah, can you DJ?
I can't really DJ, but I do know Mean Ice Ice Baby.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
So come on.
I don't know. You need a beat.
Come on.
I need a beat. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Garrett's back with his brand new invention. Something. Grabs a hold. Yeah.
Don't grab him tightly.
It was good. I liked it. I liked it.
I'm impressed with it. So, all right, Phoenix, you get yourself into any trouble? You got to stay out west.
Yeah, so we stayed out west. The trouble's gone. We're away from Vegas, so we left there yesterday, and I am up, so won a little bit of money, and played roulette for the first time, and we had a good time. So now we're in Phoenix. I'm glad we're not back home because apparently it was like 14 when the team left. So it's like 90, and it feels awesome, and we're ready to go.
All right, we were talking about the youth movement, man, and you guys are kind of the leaders of the youth movement here on the backside of this garage. This Xfinity Series is just packed with youth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seems like every year there's just more and more youth, and the sport's definitely getting younger, so hopefully the fans are getting younger and enjoying it. I know we have some fun on social media trying to get everybody engaged, so
hey,
it's fun.
Speaking of
this guy's a Snapchat king over here.
Yeah, speaking of social media, what's the hashtag we're doing?
Hashtag GarageCam.
Hashtag GarageCam. You guys hashtag. Do not look it up. Who's older?
Oh, there we go. A contest. So anybody watching GarageCam right now, who's older, Garrett Smithley or Harrison Rhodes? There, I think it could be a trick question, but this guy can't grow facial hair for junk. All right, we'll see you guys. I got you. I had to throw the zinger in there. Oh man, halfway in GarageCam, and we're having fun. This is a good show so far. Hopefully, we get our boy Andrew back soon. Bright sunshine in Arizona. Put some decals on the side of this number nothing, the Garrett Smithley machine. Garrett's going to have to owe me one after that facial hair joke. So, yeah, what do you think, GarageCam people? Hashtag on GarageCam. See if there's any shout-outs on there at all. But my man Justin Beatty here checking out the Twitter channels there and checking out the hashtag. Let's roll on over to the front side of the garage. You know, we missed our boy Jeremy Clements. But anyway, this is such an interesting track here. 1 mile oval, turn 1 and 2, 10 to 12 degrees of banking. 3 and 4, only 8 to 9 degrees of banking. You know, we heard somebody say that it was kind of, Corey LaJoy in the last show say 3 and 4 is kind of like, well, it's kind of like New Hampshire. Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick going to do some work. Oh, good stuff right there. Speaking of youth movement, Ryan Blaney, the discount tire number 22. The Penske program with these Fords has really kind of caught up here in the Xfinity Series. Last year, kind of maybe a little bit of an off year for them. But this year so far, the 22 Ford finding speed throughout. Tyler Reddick, he was going to do some business. The Broken Arrow Records number 42. Check it. It's a cool looking car. Teammate alongside Brennan Poole, the Bull from Texas. Speaking of youth movement, man, this kid started out Legends car racing. I remember him when he was a pipsqueak Legends car racer, going against some old man named Matthew Dillner and kicking his butt. Dash for Cash is something we definitely want to talk about. So if y'all don't know what the Dash for Cash is, man, the bonus program that the Xfinity Series has with Xfinity bringing in these bonuses. Just unbelievable, and it's different this year, okay? So the top two, like, we have the stages, okay? We got 3 stages. The top 2 in those first 2 stages are each eligible. They qualify. And in that final stage, those 4 guys go for $100,000. So on Saturday, the first stage, the top 2 Xfinity guys are eligible. The second stage, the top 2 Xfinity guys. And they go for $100,000 in that third stage. That is awesome. You don't have to win the race, but you have to be the top eligible Xfinity Series driver. And it's something new, too. 2 Dash for Cash wins equals a playoff berth. So much on the line. And then the big bonus this year, check this out. If you win all 4 Dash for Cash bonuses, an additional $600,000. That's like $1 million, dude. Brendan Poole, what would you do with, like, all that Dash for Cash money?
Well, first of all, there's a lot, and I've got some bills to pay, okay? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. A lot of it goes to the team. Go back into this program, try to make our cars a lot better, and keep working on it. But we've got a pretty decent hot rod, so maybe we can get up there and win some of that Dash for Cash money tomorrow.
What do you think about this bonus? Because I saw you in a press conference before, and, we always talk about all these initiatives and all these different things that we do. But this deal really here is kind of old school because it's like going out there and just going for some bucks.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I can't thank Xfinity enough for like all the stuff they're doing for our sport and for all these young guys and giving us a chance to battle it out and try to go win some extra cash. It makes it a lot of fun. I think it makes it exciting. At the end of the day, we're still drivers and we want to win that race at the end of it. But if you can be a Dash for Cash guy and you go out there and win the race, you just cover it all. So we'll just go out there and try to do the best we can.
All right, we're talking about the youth movement here in the Xfinity Series. Okay, so before I let you go here, we're talking about how powerful, how strong the youth movement is here in the Xfinity Series. Even so much so that we had a driver like spin a little rap for us, like a little, little Ice Baby, even though it's old school. Do you have any hidden talents that us old people don't know about?
I don't know. I mean, I can still ride a skateboard pretty good, I can still kick flip and heel flip and do some old tricks. I used to skate all the time as a kid. I play guitar, I can surf. I do a lot of stuff. I don't know about rapping. Rapping's like, that's pretty, you got to commit hard if you're going to go and try to do that as your secret talent.
Now, can you do any of those other things well, though? You skateboard and you do all these things well, or no?
Yeah, I can skate pretty good. I'd say I skate better than anything. I used to be like really good at it because I skated like every day after school during the week when I wasn't racing on the weekends. So that's what all my friends did. So like to fit in, I mean, that's what you did. You skated, But it was fun. It was always something I enjoyed doing. I was born in California. All my uncles skated and played music and played guitar. So, it's just fun.
All right, Brendan Poole, and he's flying the DC Solar. And, of course, it's the DC Solar race. That's pretty awesome right there. And, hey, out of breath. Hey, okay, are you out of breath?
I am definitely out of breath.
So this is a test, okay? We run you through tests here. And you just had to run to go do a Clint Boyer interview, and now you're back. And now you have to talk.
I do. And I'll try my best not to sound out of breath. I am on the track team, so...
Oh, okay.
I'm
that's
trained
an
for this.
That's an advantage. Old MD here sometimes gets out of breath just because of my size. Check this out. Daniel Hemrick in his car getting ready. He's the early bird that gets the worm for sure. Hemrick likes getting in this car early for practice, I think, in the Blue Gate Bank number 21. The Kannapolis, North Carolina product. One of the more talented drivers, Andrew, in this garage, and a lot of people excited to see this youngster have this opportunity.
Of course. You always look for that first time that guys hit the track and just to see how they do. And as I don't know what you guys covered during my Clint Boyer interview, but I will say again that, this giant youth movement is great for NASCAR and racing, and to see him back on track is, and see all these young guys back on track is awesome.
And I'll tell you what, sometimes that youth needs an opportunity. And this guy right here that you just see, crew guy working on this car, but Timmy Latiga, that's a long-time RCR guy right here, putting in the hood pins and the deck lid of this number 21, is one of the guys that started Daniel Hemrick's career in the Legends car ranks. He owns a Legends car, and the youth movement is served, but Timmy, you also need that opportunity.
Exactly. Everybody needs a chance.
What was it like to see the first time he strapped into an RCR car, knowing that he was one of your drivers?
It was a pretty awesome feeling. Still get chills every day he gets in the car, so it's pretty cool.
All right, Timmy Latiga has invested a lot of time and effort into this young man's career, and getting to be a teammate with him on this side of the deal ain't too bad either.
That's what I love about racing is it's not a one-man show. It's never just a driver. It's always the crew. And it's always interesting to look into the stories and you know, what the crew members have to say, because it really is a team effort. And I don't think many people know that. I think people just watch the races to see the drivers, but that's just not the case. Every crew member is important.
Who's the favorite person you've interviewed so far, man? Is it Ty Dillon because he's right here?
Well, maybe.
He looks like he's getting on a bull there. He had the arm up. I mean,
talking to Ty later this weekend, so we'll see what he has to say.
Who's your favorite so far that you've interviewed?
Of everybody?
Yeah.
Say, me and him, we got something in common. We both don't shave yet, so one day you'll get there.
Actually, that's not true. I shaved last night.
Oh, that's great. Kavana, he's shaving. You're not.
The walk of shame right there.
Oh, man, that's awesome. That might be my favorite moment of GarageCam in a long time. And youth is served in this series right here. And the youth just served a home run, man. That was a slam right there. I like
felt
it.
pretty good about that one.
The RCR boys working hard. And let's go to the chat room here. Blaine Smith, let's talk to Brendan Gaughan about the amazing run through the garage area last week. Well, last year? Did he have another run? I don't know. But Brandon Jones is over here. Maybe we could grab a word with Brandon Jones at number 33. Alongside, though, something that we should touch on really quick. We have had a practice so far in the Xfinity Series, and this car right here, the One Main Financial Chevrolet Camaro of Elliott Sadler, made contact with the wall. Not too bad right there. You see some of the damage on the side of it. And a new sponsor, Owen Nanchel. They're hoping to double up on the budget there and get money out of One Main and Owen Financial. But no, that was scraped off right there. But the car is okay. They diagnosed this car between the break, talking to the crew, and really there's nothing too bad with it. They were working on some things, make sure nothing was bent, and Elliott Sadler should be good to go for this practice session here. The number 62, Brendan Gaughan. Las Vegas products, South Point Hotel and Casino on the car, and you can't go to the casinos yet.
I can't, unfortunately, but I can talk to him about scuba diving, which I don't know if you've mentioned on the show, but he's a big scuba diver, and I myself am a scuba diver, and I don't know, it's always cool to have something in common with a NASCAR driver.
That's right. And, Brendan, he's not one of the young ones in this series. He's one of the veterans, but one of the guys that is a great mentor to a lot of people, has been a good mentor, not just on the track, but off the track, how to handle yourself. Ryan Reed driving by in the number 16 Lilly Diabetes car. You see the number 3 Rod Ty Dillon going out for practice number 2 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Oh, BG. Brendan Gaughan's here. Let's kick it with Brendan Gaughan for 2 seconds here as he gets in his car. We're talking about the youth movement in NASCAR because we have Andrew Kurland, our youth reporter here with Acceleration Nation. And what do you think of the youth movement, old man?
Which way are the youth? The old one with me and Elliott, or the youth with the teeny boppers, like over here?
Yeah, over here.
The teeny boppers.
How old are you again?
15.
15. 2002, huh?
2001.
You were racing.
2001. I was racing before Brandon Jones was born. Yeah, I actually have a pair of tennis shoes that are older than you.
It feels nice.
Brendan Gaughan about to hop into his car here. We'll let him get to work. Brendan, always good to take time with us. We actually did a little off-road racing with him and the Dillon boys up in Vegas. Vegas won those guys in South Point Casino. Big thanks to them for the great fun. Wait, what?
Don't forget to mess with Harley about his riding in an off-road car.
What about it?
Well, Harley, just everybody at home, if you know Harley, Facebook, anywhere, just make fun of Harley for his off-roads.
Just make fun of Harley about everything.
I need to find those tennis shoes.
No, you don't want to. Those things probably stink, dude.
Yeah, probably.
All right, Andrew, what was it like being on GarageCam real quick?
Sorry, I can't really hear you.
What was it like being on GarageCam?
Oh, it was awesome. Everything I expected and a whole lot more, which is, you can't ask for anything more.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. And as we always say, I'm your host, Matthew Dillner. This is my co-host, Andrew Kurland. And until next time, we'll see you at the races.